The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. We're going to have Arch Crawford on today as our guest. This is one of the tightest formations in planets in history. Here on February the 11th, we posted that. I'll bring it back again after we've seen the and talk just a little bit about the London and German markets. As you can see, they've made some type of a double top here in the German index and a little bit lower top, of course, in the FTSE. If in fact that is a top, they can, of course, go back and make new highs without too much. But there's a couple other things that are looking really interesting tonight that we talked about yesterday to be aware of. And one of the things we're going to show you right now is a chart that we brought up yesterday from the newsletter, which is basically the crude oil monthly chart. And you can see that 135 pattern that's on the monthly chart. Now, what I'm going to do now is to make it in living color so that you can see what it really looks like. We'll get it up here, take a quick look, and then we're going to go down to a smaller time frame and pay attention to it because we're at a real critical level here. As you can see here by the 135 pattern that finished last night at 58.51. I wanted to bring that to your attention, but look at this long-term monthly, folks. The fact that the retracements and everything are lined up, and this is a very important pattern, this 135. And if you look closely, you can see the ABCD there from the smaller time frame. But the one that's really interesting last night, and we sent this out as a special to let people know that something big was happening, and this was nothing more than 1 day's range in the crude oil. We were looking for a top at 58.50. The top came in at 58.51. That was an absolute perfect ABCD at that level. We've now dropped a little more than $1 a barrel. We're down, just a little more, about $1.50 a barrel. So something has happened here in crude oil. So let's pay attention to that, folks, because this could be a really big move on the downside. So what we're going to be watching for is our first counter trend trade when the market breaks down, whatever it is, $2, $3, whatever it is, even today. And if we make a nice ABCD pattern on the half-hour chart, that's the one that we want to be watching. So those are just a couple of the things this morning with the DAX and the FTSE and the crude oil chart. It's very, very important. Now I've got to go to one other thing, and then we'll get to the cryptocurrency stuff and the blockchains. I wanted to show you this formation that we're seeing here. That Arch is going to be talking to us about it. I posted this yesterday, but if you have a chance, you can still see it. If you're in the western United States, because it's still dark, you can go out and look at it. These are the Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn lineups. And if you read anything about the Bible, folks, you remember the three wise men were following the star, looking for Bethlehem. Well, the star supposedly was a triple conjunction of Mercury, Venus, and Mars, very, very tight. And if you go into the historical records and looked at one right around 0 BC, you'll see that happened in October. It wasn't December 25th. And it was in October, and that's when the Jewish faith were there to pay their tax bills. And that's what Joseph and Mary were doing there, was to pay their taxes. So that's usually the time of the birth was around October, from what historians say. Now, I'm getting that from other people, so don't bet any cash money on that. But I've heard that story many times before. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But you're talking about something that happened 2021 years ago, and that's a very, very long time, and written records have been dissipated for many, many years. Okay, let's take a quick look here for just 1 second here. We're going to take a look at the Bitcoin. First of all, here's what people look at when they look at a Bitcoin chart. Let's get this up here and bring it up here so you'll be able to see it. they're using a price of around $10 a share is what they're looking at, because really, between 2 or 3 cents to $10, it was jumping around quite a bit. You'll see the price of Bitcoin at 20,000 when it went up to the double top there in January of 2018. That's when they started trading in the Chicago Mercantile Exchange in the futures. We now have an open interest of well over 17,000, so it's taken 3 years to get open interest up to a pretty good level. But there is substantial open interest in there, so there are people playing. But that's what's happened. But you'll see, starting in the late fall last year, that's when the really big move started to accelerate. Once we went above the 14,000 level, which was a 78% retracement of the whole move. Well, if you want to see what Bitcoin is really doing, folks, or cryptocurrencies, you need to get it to a log scale so that you can see what it really means as far as these things. What Mr. Z? Okay, this is for you, Z. This is why I'm bringing this up, because folks, I don't know diddly squat about this stuff. I really don't. I know little tiny bits and pieces. I know the difference between a token and a coin. These are not shares; these are coins. A token is a cryptocurrency that doesn't have its own blockchain. If you have a cryptocurrency that has its own blockchain, then it's called a coin. So that's why you're watching this. But now you're seeing this here. This is a log scale of what's going on. And just doing the ABCDs, folks, this takes the Bitcoin to about 100,000. It could easily. Hey, look, folks, if we can go from 3,000 to 48,000 in a matter of a few months, we can go to 100,000 really quickly, especially on a log scale. Now, I don't know if this is going on. I'm showing you this because of the fact that it's technical analysis at its best. You can actually see these same patterns that is going on. And it could be the biggest bubble of all times. I don't know, but there's people putting big money in it, and they're winning right now. So you got to pay attention to what they're doing. Haven't done a trade in this stuff yet. I've recommended, the only thing I've ever recommended was which was ADA, Cardano, ADA, and that has gone from 6 cents to 80 cents. So, that's been a big nickel. Yeah, but it's a nice wooden nickel, that's for sure, Terry. Hold on just a second here. Let's get it's up here. But that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just showing you the charts of what they look like. And the reason why I do that, because it's stuff like this. This is what we showed yesterday, which was about RCA. Yep. Okay, just like microwaves, yes, Gator, they will probably end badly. Who knows? Anyway, but this is Radio Corporation of America, folks. This was the high in 1929. And stop and think, folks, this was the radio and the phonograph. These are two things that we've lived with our whole lives, and yet they topped in 1929 and didn't go above that top until 1962, I believe, is when they finally cleared that top. It was many, many years later when they finally, went higher, and it had a reverse split and other things. And of the Dow stocks, if you remember history, there were 30 stocks in the Dow. That's always been the case. But 15 of those stocks between 1929 and 1938, 15 of those went bankrupt. And there's no original stocks left. The original one was GE in its history. So got a different ball game this time, boys and girls. We'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, we're going to take a look at a couple other markets here, basically platinum and also the March corn. March corn is very important because we've been long this for quite a long time here. I will have time for gold for you, Maria, no problem at all. I will have that up for you, but we're at a real critical level here at this 850 in the gold, 1850, so we'll watch it. Hold on here. We'll cover these first, and then I'll get to the gold. We bought this down there at 493, folks. That was the ABCD at the 382 retracement. That was a little over a month ago, 3 weeks ago. And you'll notice now that we're up around the 565, 566, 570 level. And we are recommending taking profits in that position now. We've had a nice run up. And we've got a report coming, and these reports sometimes can be really, really crazy. And I don't want to give any part of that $4,000 back. So I'm recommending to just take the position off here, and let's wait and see what happens. I might be getting out too soon, but frankly, I don't care. One of my biggest trades I ever did was back in June of 1976 when beans were going crazy, and everybody said the only beans that would be around would be in the Smithsonian, and I got out that day and they went limit down 5 days in a row. And so I don't really care. If I get part of it, that's fine, but I'm not expecting to get all of it. And it'll give you another chance to get in if it's crazy again. And who knows where it's going to go? We've gone from $3 to $5.50. That's one of our biggest moves ever, and we've captured a lot of that, so I'm just going to stand aside. I don't know if Mr. Z would recommend what I'm doing there, but I can't be on top of these things into the reports by putting stops in so quickly that you just can't get them out to the people in time. So I've got to make a decision on that, and I just want to do it to get it out of the way. So that way it takes the heat off, and everybody should be happy. And there's others coming on to see other same thing. Z's saying he's doing the same thing. So Z, when is the report? Is it today? I'm not even sure. I meant to ask Rich, but I was so focused on this event that we're having. It's 12 p.m. today. Yeah, so that's not very far away. We'll report on it tomorrow. What we did right or what we did wrong, but that's neither here nor there. Sometimes you get them right, sometimes you get them wrong. I'll tell you, folks, you got to pay really close attention to this thing here. I'm going to post it again because this is important. This is a monthly chart. Raise your hand. How many times have you ever seen me talk about monthly patterns? And this is it. And the reason why I'm saying that's important is because we made that ABCD at 58.51, and we've been talking about that for 3 or 4 days, 58.50 to 59.50. And it might go to 59.50 or 60.50 or 62.50, but all I know is it's got some major resistance now at 58.50 because we've dropped a buck and a half here in a very, very short period of time. So, it's very, very interesting. If you like trading with the trend, boys and girls, look at that monthly chart of crude oil. That's trading with the trend. We topped at 144. We went down to 30 and 25 and minus 27. And here's where we are right now. So we'll see what happens. Let's move on. I did post that chart on the crude oil when it was happening. I showed you that. I sent that out to everybody right after it happened. The reason why I know I had very loud beepers coming on to tell me, uh-oh, this is it. So I sent it out there. I didn't send it with a recommendation or anything. I felt that was probably the best time to do it, but I said I wanted to wait to make sure that top is in, and that's why I put that out there. I'm giving you the information. You do with it what you want. That's all I can tell you. Now, let's move on to the platinum. We've got a really beautiful chart here from our friends over in the Far East. Let's get this up here. And I want to get this up here. This is really a pretty chart. I don't use black backgrounds because the people at Commodity Corporation, when we start getting our machines in, they were telling us that use a light colored black background because it's better on your eyes. It also doesn't take up ink when you have to print out a chart. But anyway, you'll notice here that we're looking at a price here of $12.18 in the platinum. So that's going to be a very, very interesting one. As we're trading at $12.18, we have gold at $18.50 roughly, and that is a difference of $600 an ounce, and that used to be a $1,000 premium to the platinum. Well, because it's not used in jewelry too much anymore because it's too hard to work with. But look at this closely, folks, on this platinum thing here, because this is a 3 drive to a top pattern. You can see it right there. It's just spot on. It's double ABCDs, and it's going to be some pretty interesting movement here once we clear this $1,200 to see what's going on. Peak is saying, I see a beautiful ABCD setting up on the natural gas on the monthly charts. You're not delusional, I'm sure, Peak, but I'll have to check that another time. It takes me a little while to pull up the natural gas chart, so I'm not really able to do that. But we'll watch that tomorrow. I'll put that on my list to look at natural gas tomorrow, and we'll do that. We have Arch Crawford coming up at the break, and I wanted to spend some time about this really tight planetary thing that we have going on, because that's how I got started in the cycle stuff, folks. I was doing the stuff with the Foundation for the Study of Cycles, went to Pittsburgh, met with Mr. Dewey, and Mr. Dewey said, look at astrology. And by golly, I thought he was smoking some funny weed or something. But 10 years let's see, that was 19. About 20-some years later, Dr. Ruth Miller, opened my eyes to what these things are doing. And the way she opened my eyes was a combination of what we have going on right now with this really tight formation. If you go back and look at history, and I did that, if you remember, I did that on Monday's show because of the fact that it's has all these things going on. Let me see if I can get this up again. I know I saved it. I think I saved it. And let's just, hopefully I got one more to check, and then we'll see if we got it. That's not it. I don't think I saved it. Yes, I did. Hold on here. We'll get up here and take a look at it. If you take, okay, hold on just a second. Z's asking how Dr. Miller got into the cycles. It was because of the Bible. See, she was she just passed away last year at the age of 96, but she read the Bible a lot, and she got a lot of that stuff out of Bible. And then she had a couple of young men that she worked with out of Florida that were GAN people, and they did a lot of work on GAN that I never could figure it out. But that was long after she taught me what the astrology stuff was doing. But if you see these super cycle waves here that the Elliott wave will put up, I'm not saying I'm not doing wave counts or anything like that. I just want to show you the dates, folks. If you look at that date of 89, 55, 34, 21, and 13, all of those happened within a week of what's going on. And one of the most major ones was the one at double bottom in 1974 after the crash of 74. That was the big thing. And this is the type of thing that was going on right now. You remember the bottom in 2009? We had the really, really tight formation. And look what happened. We're going to talk to Arch Crawford when we come back, folks.
Larry Pesavento watches the markets 24/7, and now is a great time to try out his daily trading service, Fibonacci 24/7. Larry publishes videos and charts for subscribers throughout the week when warranted, and every weekend he puts out a thorough report covering worldwide markets, futures, commodities, and currencies with Fibonacci retracement levels, possible trading setups and zones, and stops and targets for all recommendations included. Larry applies the principles he's developed over decades of trading while analyzing a variety of markets for subscribers. To see for yourself the types of videos, charts, and analysis that Larry provides for his subscribers, sign up for Fibonacci 24/7 today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. You'll also gain instant access to Larry's archived subscriber webinar from earlier this year. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today. If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we're back, and I believe we have Arch Crawford in the house. Arch, are you there?
Your belief is well recommended.
Oh, boy, I love it when I'm psychically correct. Arch, I have a question for you, buddy. You and I have been around us about the exact same number of days on this planet within a month or so, and we've seen some really crazy stuff. How would you gauge this? I'm going to ask you about the planetary things in just a minute, but how would you gauge what's going on with the .com stuff and where we are now with the actually bringing in cryptocurrencies too, and then also the tech mania that's going on? How would you rate those? Are they similar in any respect?
I would say that all of this taken together is like the sign of a major long-term top.
Okay. That's what I'm seeing, too. Tell us about what's happening in the sky right now. Art, you mentioned that this is one of the tightest formations we've seen. So can you explain to the folks what that means?
Well, this is the tightest formation we have seen perhaps ever. It's the most power and significance this month is massive stellium, February 11th, in the sign of Aquarius. When we say massive, this is no joke. There will be 5 planets, the sun and moon, and one of the 4 largest asteroids in one zodiacal sign. 7 bodies within one sign is a major happening. As a matter of fact, we don't remember seeing such a thing ever.
Mm-hmm. We had 5 planets on harmonic convergence on August the 25th of 1987. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
Okay, because I remember you were on TV at FNN, and I was during that time frame, and we were talking with Bill Griffith and Sue Herrera and stuff, and you were talking about a major top in the market, and it certainly was for a year and a half. Arch, I have a question from one of our listeners, and that is, how do you handle this as far as trading when you see a tight formation like this? What do you do for trading? That's what their question is. He wants to know how you make money off of it.
I suspect. Well, I look at the chart and I say, okay, is the market at a high or a low? And it's clearly, if it's a turning point, it's a high.
Okay, that makes sense enough. But what would you use for an entry? Would you use a weekly signal or a 5-day signal or something like that? What would be your or would you use options?
Well, you use whatever you use, whichever you are comfortable with using and what you're used to using. So it'll be different for different people, but I suspect it's a very important long-term top, in my estimation, in the next, in this give or take 3 days or give or take a couple of weeks for the very, very long term. So I would, I'd be out and short in the next couple of days.
Okay, that makes fair enough. Okay, now one of your favorite things is the gold market. What's your assessment of the gold here as we traded 1842 in the April gold?
I would say that the gold long-term trend is clearly up. Short-term, not so clear.
Okay. That makes sense.
The daily, I'm looking at the daily chart right now, and I would have to say it's just had a pullback. And the low the other day, just 3 days ago, is higher than the low on the end of December, end of November, 1st of December.
Okay.
So that suggests to me that we are going to scream up in the gold, and I don't know how far. Whether it depends on how much will the dollar go down, not how much is the gold going to go up.
Okay, so you're bearish the U.S. dollar. Now, which of the currencies do you think is going to be the strongest against the dollar? I mean, the euro doesn't look that strong. What's your assessment of looking at those currencies? Is it the British pound?
I'm looking at a chart of the strongest one I've ever seen, Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah, well, that's for sure. What do you know anything about that stuff, Arch? I mean, because I'm in a fog. Well, I know a little bit, enough to get in trouble. But do you have a good background in that, or do you have a source that you can use?
About which to buy?
Yeah, and why? Yeah.
All I know is the chart is fabulous.
Yeah, the charts are fabulous. There's no question.
And
people,
it went up to 43,000 the early January, and then it made a flag pattern, and then it just broke out yesterday. So what the heck?
Yeah. Not only got Elon Musk in there with 1.5 large, so that could be a big thing. We haven't seen anything like this since in the cryptocurrency stuff. We haven't seen anything like this since the .com bubble, and whether that's the same type of bubble or not, let the history books talk to us about that. But my feeling is if we can get Bitcoin at 48,000, I don't think it'd be any trouble at all to see gold above 3,000. Because, if gold starts to go, people remember it. The gold bulls will never go away. They just stay in hibernation.
Right. Well, gold has always been a very long-term support above any and all currencies. Gold is still gold from the beginning.
Yeah. And you can hold it in your hand. You don't have to look at a computer screen and say, look at all those numbers. That's where my money is. At least with gold, you can actually hold it and touch it and feel it. And that was always, I've enjoyed it all those years myself. So I should tell people that too.
That's another big advantage, isn't it?
Yeah. The other thing, Arch, is the fact that you have a hard time, in order to buy these cryptocurrencies, it's not as easy. You can go to the exchange, of course, and buy the Bitcoin futures. But with these there's 6,000 of these cryptocurrencies out there. Some of them are blockchain, some of them aren't. But boy, to buy them, you have to put the money in, then it has to be transferred to Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin transferred to another Ethereum or whatever you want to buy. And it's really not an easy thing. And when you're dealing with all these numbers and stuff, boy, that's a little scary because this could disappear in a poof. You just don't. Maybe this will be gone tomorrow and everything's worthless. I mean, no one really knows for sure, but that's something that you have to really
take into
pay attention
consideration.
to. Yeah, that's for sure. Well, how about the oil market, Arch? You have any feeling on where we're going with crude oil? We went from minus 27 to 58.50 last night, and that's one heck of a move. And what do you think longer term on the oil?
I was trying to find my chart, and I don't have it up right this second. Oil. There's oil. It's very steadily higher, breaking resistance after resistance, breaking through. So the next high going back was early January a year ago, and it was a little above 65, 66, 67. That's
hold on, Arch. We got to pay a few bills. We'll be right back for another short segment. Okay, buddy?
Okay.
Arch Crawford, folks. Crawford Perspective, 877-927-6648.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The Bull Bear Trading Hour with Tom and Tommy O'Brien. Next.
Okay, folks, we're back. We're chatting with Arch Crawford Perspectives. Arch, we have a question that you've answered once a long time ago, but how did you get started into astrology? I know you're a good old Southern boy. Was it related to the Bible, or how did you get into astrology in the markets?
I got into it while I was at Merrill Lynch in 1961.
Wow. That was the year of Dr. No. Tell us how that all started, Arch. I'd like to hear it.
Well, I'm trying to remember what was it that I came across that talked about it, but it was David Williams, I think, maybe.
Okay.
He was the best-known stock market astrologer when I was just getting interested in these things. And he was no jokester. He was head of purchasing department for Con Edison Corporation in New York City. And he became interested in these things, and he recommended that purchase.
Wow.
God, as I said, this was 1961.
Yeah. He lived in Scottsdale. I think that's where he passed away, wasn't it?
I believe
in the late 80s. Yeah, I remember because I met him once in 88. I think it was 88. But I just was curious whether you had any, because of the Bible stuff, of whether you had any, during that time there was what was his name? George Lindsay was in New York City at the same time you were there, and he was heavily into astrology, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Do you have any thoughts about him, or what were your memories of him?
He was just, one of the early brilliant people in the field, definitely.
Well, he was on Louis Rukeyser. He was about every 2 or 3 months they would have him on, so he must have been doing something right. That's for sure.
He was a funny little guy, very, very brilliant. I was over his house once, going over some charts and agreeing pretty much.
Yeah. Hey, listen, buddy, we want to thank you for joining us, and we'll see how this big astrological thing is going to happen. What's going to happen with it? Maybe yes, maybe no. But
this is the biggest date in history that I know about.
Wow.
And that's a day after tomorrow.
Well, I've known you 40 years, and I've never heard you say that. So it's we should pay attention then, if nothing else.
Seven planets in one sign.
Wow. That's a big deal.
Never happened before that I know about.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Well, we'll find out what it means anyway. Listen, thanks for joining us, Arch, and we'll have you on next month, okay?
Fine and dandy. Nice to hear from you.
You bet, and be safe, my friend.
Will do.
You bet. Arch Crawford's Perspectives of Tucson, Arizona, down about 1.5 miles where we are here in the Pueblo. When we get back from the break, I will share with you, don't know if I have that at my fingertips or not. I wanted to show you that 1987 5-planet conjunction that was happening then, and now we have 7 planets all in the same sign as Arch mentioned. So this should be something, pretty important, and whether it is or not, who knows. Sometimes they pass away without doing anything, but other times they mean something. We've got a lot of fundamental stuff in the market to tell you that that's what you're looking at. Hold on here a second. We got someone calling in, I believe. Hold on 1 minute. Okay. Z is saying that Arch and I hang out in the same barber shop. No, with only one hair on each head, we don't have to worry about barber shops anymore. It's more of going into the pharmacy and picking up the medication than anything else. Folks, it's a good part about this is that here I'm going to be hit the 8th furlong pole here on July the 28th. This year I'll turn 80, and I'll tell you, it's been a really heck of a run for me. I just can't believe I've lived this long, given the fact that my mom died at 47, my dad died at 59, and here I am going on 80, and I still love the same things I liked at 20. I just don't remember why. But this is good. I've been the folks that I've met here at TFNN over these past 14 years has been really spectacular. And one in particular in the room, that you know who you are. I don't have to mention your name. Is like a part of our family. So we really enjoyed the stuff here. We got a new little member of the group here with the little Tommy the 13th, I believe. Tommy O'Brien the 13th is 9 pounds plus ounces. He comes out almost fully grown, so that's it. Anyway, let's move on here for the hunt. No, I don't want to live. As long as my friends are still alive, I don't mind that. But shucks, I don't want to start outliving my friends. Let's take a look here at the euro, folks. It's very important. We're at a really critical level here in the euro. If you're in a downtrend and you're looking to trade in the direction of a downtrend, you'll notice here what we did was we covered our short position at the 120.60 level. We're now up to 121.04, but that is a 78% retracement of the high in late January. This is an hourly chart. You can see the move that we had in between the 17th and the 24th, that 7-day run in January. We had a beautiful ABCD pattern there. We have another ABCD pattern here where we are right now. So this is, if you were looking for a place to enter a market in the downtrend, this is the one that's in a downtrend. And as long as you don't get above 120, 130, you should have a winner there. But maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I really don't know. Yeah, that could be 103, Dudette. I guess that's possible. But I have one acquaintance that he's going to be 106 this year. Byron's mentor is Tad is going to be 106, and he still does all the things himself. His mind is slipping just a little bit, but he's in relatively good health. He walks a little bit every day. But the problem is, like he said, all of his friends have died, and that's the bad part of it. When you live too long, you don't want to miss that. So we've broken. Let's get back to the markets. We've now broken $1.50 since this high, potential high. Maybe this is just an intermediate high, but it could be a big one because of that long-term monthly chart in the crude oil at that 58.51 level. Now we're now trading at 57 and change, so we're down $1.50 from that level. And so I believe that we need to watch that very closely for a counter trend move, ABCD variety, because that would be the lowest risk that you could get for when you're trading the crude oil. And believe me, when you do that, we've had some nice runs in that, both on the long side and the short side. And you don't know which ones are going to work and which ones aren't. I almost slipped one here by you, and I didn't want to miss it, but this is a really important one. Look at this FTSE chart, folks. If you like head and shoulders patterns, and I'll show you a little different view than we started the show with. That is a perfect head and shoulders, folks. I want you to look at that because you have your head on the left shoulder, The right shoulder is a tad lower than the left shoulder. That means that the trend has started down. That right shoulder is a 382 retracement there at that 66 in the FTSE. So if this thing starts down, folks, it's got a long way to go. I'm talking taking out the November lows of last year. So that is a perfect head and shoulders pattern. You cannot you cannot draw it any better. That's the exact definition out of Andrew Lowe's book, The Non-Random Walk Down Wall Street. And I think if you look at that, you'll see that it is a perfect head and shoulders pattern. We don't see those often, but when you do see them, you have to pay attention to them because when they work, they're really, really big ones. 877-927-6648.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step-by-step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I wanted to mention something that I think is very important, and that is the fact that we have a situation there with these planetary things that may or may not mean anything. The reason why we need to pay attention to it, because if it does start to work, that will be the reasoning behind it. And the number of people that follow this kind of stuff is, there's just not very many of them. If you remember back on March the 9th of 2009, I did a special report saying that we were going to be looking at the largest stock market rally since 1938, and it's still going on. I missed a lot of it, but that was a really big one at that point. This is bigger than any of those, so we have to watch it very, very closely. I don't have time to put up the one from the August 25th of 1987, but I'll bring that up tomorrow so you folks can take a look at it. And remember, folks, when you're using all of these contracts, whatever you're doing, now is the time that you have to use stop protection more than any other time, because the news is out there. We've got crazy stuff happening all over the world with disease and politics and just general crazy stuff. So the old Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times, is certainly true now. So you've got to be able to protect yourself, because if you don't, you're going to be looking at something down the barrel of a gun that doesn't look very nice, and you don't want to be involved with that. You want to keep your chips close to your vest so that when you lay them out on the table to make your automated, your sophisticated bet that you want to make, you want to be able to make sure that you do it the right way and not risk too much. Make sure you're out of the corn today, folks. Those of you that are still in the corn, you need to get out of that before the report, which comes out here in a few hours. You don't want to take that risk, because they could easily take 30, 40 cents, and you can go back 30, 40 cents. You're going to see tremendous volatility into these reports, especially at these levels. And we have a weather market, but we also have a supply-demand market in that. So if we do get a dollar break in corn or 80 cents, we want to be a buyer. But let's wait and see till the pattern lines up to give us a better entry point to where we are. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.